everyone, it's Carmela here from Crate Crochet, and I'm just popping in with a quick video to show you how to do beginning half trebles. This is in relation to a project for our subscription boxes, which was the Creativity Rainbow, and I've just worked up a small sample here to show you the method, which is really for this part of the rainbow here. So when you begin and end a row, I'll show you how to work the beginning half treble and how to work into it at the end, because that can be a little bit tricky if you're not sure. I'm working in UK terms for this video. The US term for a half treble is a half double crochet, so remember that, half double crochet, but I'm working in UK terms, so I'll be saying half treble crochet. Okay, so without carrying on, let's work up this sample and I'll talk you through the half treble crochet. So what this is just another method of working this stitch at the beginning to stop the bulk that you can get sometimes when you work turning chains. And this method does give you a nice straight edge, which is what I managed to achieve, I think, fairly well on this rainbow. But as it is quite a bulky yarn, so you do tend to get a bit of a ruffled edge. But this is how I did it. Or firstly, what I'll do actually is show you the way in which it's traditionally done, and compare those methods to the way in which I like to do it. I think this method that I do it's probably got a different name, but I don't know what that name is, or if it's called a starting half treble or something like that, but I just couldn't find it, so I just kind of made it up. So if it is already in existence out there, do please let me know in the comments so I can do it properly, if I'm not doing it properly at all. Anyway, here we go. So there are three different ways commonly used to work a half treble at the beginning of a row. The first method is to either chain one or chain two and use that, and that's classed as a turning chain, and then to work a half treble straight into the very first stitch. Now that works okay, that works pretty well, but it does give you a bit of bulk here, which can be a bit unsightly and distort the row and be pushed out. So the other way people tend to do it is to chain two and count that as the first half treble, and then go straight into the next stitch and work along. But again, it doesn't quite sit right and it looks a little bit short of what it should be. So I found a method halfway in between that I think works really well, and I just call it my beginning treble crochet. I'm not sure if there's a similar method out there for a very similar thing. If there is, I'd love to know. Please let me know in the comments below so I can maybe try that one too. But this is how I do it, and I'll show you now. So to begin the row with a beginning half treble or a half double crochet, if you're using US terms, would be to simply work a double crochet, that's a single crochet in US terms, into the first stitch without making any chains. So you work that first double crochet. You'll notice by doing that you have here a, sorry, I beg your pardon, there's the camera. You have a slightly vertical bar here, and that's where we're going to slip stitch into. So I'm going to slip stitch into this vertical bar on the left, and that gives me two loops on the hook. At this point, I have since discovered, after putting the pattern to press, that if you pull that up a bit while you're at this stage of the stitch, when you come back round to work into that stitch again, you'll find it a lot easier. And I just pull that last loop through. I'll demonstrate that again for you in sort of real time rather than stopping. So here we go. So what I do is I double crochet into the first stitch without making any chains, then I slip stitch into the left vertical bar of that double crochet, pull up the two loops on the hook here, and then I pull the first loop through the second loop, and there is your beginning half treble. If you're a beginner, when you come back round, I highly recommend that at this stage just pop a stitch marker into the top 2 loops, the V of that stitch, so that when you come round you'll be able to find it a lot easier. And then you just carry on to the end of the row, and as I've already worked a few rows, I'll show you how to go into the top of that stitch at the end of a row. So when you reach the end of the round and you just want to go into that last one, you just work into it normally, but be aware it's a little tricky going into those top 2 loops, so give them a bit of a wiggle when you pull off the stitch marker, and then just push your hook through those top 2, preferably with a yarn over for a half treble, and just work the treble. And again, there we are. It makes a really nice edge. If you do struggle with this stitch, I don't blame you. It took me a while to get it and to get it neatly because of the trickiness of going into those end loops there. But if you do struggle with it, then my best suggestion would be to use a 1 chain method. So just work 1 chain and then half treble into the first stitch and carry on doing it that way. It won't make a lot of difference, especially as, you know, I haven't done it on this one, but that you will be working into that edge. So give that a try, see how you get on. I hope it was helpful making this video, and if anybody would like to see the corner to corner video, which I am still working on, I'm nearly there with that one, so pop a yes in the comments so I know that you need that. But I can see that a lot of you are doing brilliantly with this, so well done, and I can't wait to see your creativity rainbows. I hope that stitch is helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.